This is how I make my water slides. I'm using Canva. I get into my project. I go to upload files. I don't need my flash on. I find the picture I want to upload. Click on it. Open. It loads into Canva. It's loaded. I click on it. And this is going to be way too big. You have to shrink the images down so that you get all of the picture onto the nail, because if you leave them big and you try to put this on a fingernail, you're just going to have a little white box. So I shrink them down, and they work better if you have them rectangular like this. You can do them big enough so that you can have enough for like maybe 2 or 3 nails. But if it's a pattern that you want to really be seen on the nail, you need to shrink it down. This sheet I'm going to print on transparent paper, so I don't want my images to have a background, or I want it to be something like this flower. That'll show up good on a clear background. So I click it, I shrink it down, and then stick it over there. Load it up with my pictures. I click on share, and so I have to download this. So you go to download. I don't want to do all 8 pages. I only want to do this page that I'm on, the current page. Okay, and I make sure it's right. Page 2, 1.3 pinky. So this is actually a file that I bought from a girl on Etsy, that you can use it to put your water slide pictures on it, and it actually cuts them out like in the shape of your nail. But most of the time I just do them like this. So also you need to increase your resolution. You want to make sure you're doing your pictures at the highest resolution you can so you get really good quality. Always do mine PNG, because that's what they say you should do for good pictures. And then you download. And after it's copying, then you have to pick where your destination is that you're going to save it. And it takes a little time because I did do a high quality images that I won't save, just high quality. Okay, so I'm going to save it to my attachments, personal. Then I click on it to open it. And then once it opens, I go to my print. And then it's a landscape. You always want to use landscape. And for the size, it's an A4. That's the paper size of this water slide paper. I change that to glossy. And I always do uniform margins because it makes everything fit on there better. And then I go to more settings, and then I make sure that this is set to high quality output there. OK, and then print. See how good they're going to look. They do look really good. You just want to do a light coating from a few inches away. You want to take it inside, let it dry well, and then do that 3 to 4 more times. Okay, got my water slide. I cut it out kind of close as I could. I'm going to drop it in my water. Let it get under the water good. I've just painted my nail with just 1 coat of gel, but if I was really doing this, I would do 2. Because I like mine to be right side to whoever's looking at my nails. So I'm wanting the smaller part here and the wider part there. So you see how it just kind of slides? I just start sliding it. And I'm going to put it down there. And then I'm just going to slide this out. And I just start pressing with my finger. And I find sometimes it helps if you wet your finger in the water and just put a little water on it to help get any of the wrinkles out. Yeah, this is going to be lovely with that clear background. It's going to be perfect. And I just tuck it around my nail, around all the edges. I want it laying down. I'm going to just kind of make a little point like that on the end. And you just kind of want to get it smooth as possible, making sure it's sealing down around the edges. And then you just kind of want to leave it and let it dry good. And the more you handle it, the more likely you are to rip it or just get little tears in it. And that'll show up as little white streaks on the picture. I've done that before too, many times. So I'm just trying to get it to adhere to the edge. Good. And then I just kind of press my finger on it to make sure I've got all the air bubbles out. I'm not sliding my finger, I'm merely just pressing and patting. Because if you slide your finger and rub it, you will rip it or tear it. I mean, I do 3 or 4 coats on mine, so they are pretty durable. So I'm very gently going to file off this bit of excess here, because if you don't, your decal won't be adhering to your nail. And I'm just kind of filing in a downward motion. Lift it up, and it goes. And I'm going to coat it with this, I love Lavender Violet 5-in-1 builder base. Making sure I go around the edges well to seal that decal onto my nail. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Okay, now I have this one, and this one is a little bit lighter base color we're going to use, so dropping it in my water. Dab off. This is how I want it to go on my nail. Always start in the center of the nail and then just go out from there. And then, like I said, you just want to tuck it around the edges. You want to tuck it down, make sure it's sealed down on the edges. Okay. File those bits off that are hanging over the side. I'm just going to coat it with my 5-in-1 builder base, making sure I'm getting all the edges. You want to cap all the edges, if not, this can slide off. Okay, here's my other one, all nice and cured. And I love a matte coat on decals like this. I just think it makes them look so awesome. So I'm going to mat it. That is just so pretty. And here you have it, my Mani Maniacs. Your water slide decals on the nails. Isn't that so pretty? And just think, any picture you want, you can do this with it. So easy. Happy decaling.